In this week's race guide, we get an almighty start in Daily Race A. Daily Race C, we see a Ferrari get sent to Narnia. In Daily Race C, well, we're involved in a heck of a crash as it all goes wrong at Interlagos. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2024, week 28, and this week is a disaster. It is an absolute disaster, but let me take you through it all the same. You may enjoy parts of this, and other parts you may absolutely hate. Who knows? First up, though, in the background, you can see a Suzuki Jimny. Now, we are doing 8 laps at Alsace test course. It's a grid start with a false start check. Comfort, soft, medium, or hard. Your choice. Tyres on fuel and tyre wear. And it's 420 pp, so you tune your car however you like to get to 420 pp. Which is always a disaster, as we know. However, I will show you a tune at the end of the lap guide, so do stay tuned for that. If you don't want to do this race or even look at it, there are some timestamps there for you to jump to Daily Race B or C, respectively. In terms of this Alsace test course, we've only used it 2 other times, so this is the 3rd time of using it. Let's jump into this race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens, because it's a little bit funny. Here we are then at the start of the race. Lots of different liveries, which is always nice to see then. Now I've put traction control on to 1, or I'm about to do that now. There we go, hold the handbrake. Now, I set this car up for 20 minutes. No idea. I hadn't done any practice at all. Off we go. Traction control really kicking in there, but watch this. Because nobody has any idea what we're doing tuning-wise, I dart through the middle of everybody. I'm already up to P3 then. And we're already catching Handsome Frank up ahead. Yeah, that's how quick that was. So we're going to try and get past Handsome Frank very quickly indeed. And there we go. We're in different classes of car at this moment in time. See my hand going up there because I'm really confused. Anyway, a bit further on in the race, we're miles behind P1 and miles ahead of everybody else. So much so, we decided to crash the car into the barrier. But we are so far ahead, so far ahead of everybody else. We can crash and just carry on racing. So that's what I'm going to do here. Fred in the lead is absolutely flying. Just put that out there. Lap number 7, we're catching up to back markers now. Yes, it's Daily Race A, and we've got back markers. So you can see here, it's completely just topsy-tail. Nobody knows anything. Everybody's everywhere. It's nuts. It really is nuts. Lap number 8, we come up to our next back mark here in a quality livery there. I saw Jurassic Jam, your comment this morning, how you enjoy that livery. I enjoy Jurassic Park liveries as well. I've given the race a 1 out of 5 because, to be honest with you, the start type's good, but the car and tyre choice is shocking. There's no good racing. There are penalty issues, believe it or not, in terms of track width, and the race length in randomness is just rubbish. The whole thing is just rubbish, so it's a 1 out of 5 there for you. So in terms of the lap guide then, I'll show you the setup in a second. Heading towards turn 1. On the left-hand side, you got the small bits there, the small vans, and then you got the house. I was using the house as a bit of a judgment, but as you come into here, you don't want to hit 100% braking at all on this setup. So just hit 50%. Let the car rotate a little bit, go a bit, drop a gear, and then hard on the brakes then as you're in a straight line. That should stop you here. We're down in 2nd gear. We then go up to 3rd gear because this car, honestly, revs so quickly with the transmission we've got in there at the moment. And again, I will explain that at the end of the lap guide. So we head up the hill then, and we're looking for the 50 board. Now, when you come into this corner, you're going to oversteer, because I oversteered constantly into this corner. You do want to engine brake if you can, but if you start oversteering very quickly, you don't want to drop to 3rd gear because you'll cause yourself more oversteer. So, into this corner, we're going to go. We're going to go in 4th gear. Again, we're trying to judge it accordingly. We'll drop to 3rd gear to slow the car down a little bit, and then we're going to short shift to 4th gear, okay? Head over towards the right-hand side, and then come left a bit later on. If you go on the inside of that curb, the car will fly and jump all over the place. Make sure you don't go on the inside of the curb. Make sure you just clip it. We're going to head towards the Banky Boy of Alsace test course then. I'm looking for the 100-meter board here. Just dab the brakes. A small little tap of the brakes is all you need, and then turn the car in, okay? And you're going to let the car just go through the corner. It's going to slide through the corner. It's going to go up wide, and you're going to come back in. Sometimes you can keep it tight, which is amazing. Here, we keep it half tight there, to be honest with you. Drop to 4th gear. The second it recovers itself, foot to the floor, off you go. Now, if you cut the inside of here, be careful of track limits. They do exist there. But we head towards the line then, and that is a 50.2. 49s are definitely possible, and you will see them. Here are the setups then, or setup, should I say. So a lot of this is from Barrett's setup, that post on GT Planet. Thank you for posting this, Barrett. I appreciate it. But you can pause it here and see all the settings there. Top speed on the gearbox is what I changed myself. I just put it to 240. I didn't change anything else in there. Key, look at the engine tuning on the right-hand side there. Don't put some of them in. Put the ones that I've installed right there. That's it for that one. 418 pp there. We're in Daily Race B then here, and we're in Group 3 again in Daily Race B. I'm at Nurburgring GP circuit, GP layout. 5 laps here. It's a rolling start on racing medium tyres. Tyres want fuel and tyre wear, and bop is on. However, suspension and differential are tunable as well. Now, this race has been used how many times? 8 times, and 4 of those have been Group 3. So this is the 5th time Group 3 here, and the 9th time have been used. That's a lot in my opinion. It's a very common combo here. Not sure if that's due to popularity or not, but even so, let's jump into this race. Let's see what I can do in that Porsche 911. Okay, what have people picked on this one? Mixture of cars there. NSX for Sonic in P2. Shadows in that 4C again. There are a fair few Porsches, of course. And if you are enjoying this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content here. We do all sorts on this channel. We're going to head towards turn 1, though. Got a Nissan GTR up ahead. Sends it around the outside there. Max Power looking around the outside. And we go on the inside of that GTR. That was opportunistic and a half. Up at position already. Up ahead, Hodgson and DRS Rimmer or Dr. Simmer. I don't even know. Dr. Simmer, that's what that is. As we go into the next left-hander there, fighting side by side. They go a little bit deep there, does the Swedish driver. Now as we head into the right now, trying to get the cut back here on Hodgson. Oh, who's outside? Oh, Shelty. Shelty's gone there on the left-hand side as we continue on here. I was trying to look for a way sort of round the Audi R8 up ahead. Couldn't quite do it here as we continue towards the right-hander. And we slow it down then. So we're up into P10. Good start from us, to be honest with you. We've gained a fair few positions already. I seem to be instantly on pace here. I did like 2 practice laps. My first practice lap was on for the world record straight away. Now, just to clarify, I am not using a setup. That Audi R8's gone very deep there and very oversteer as well. But I'm not using a setup in this race. I have changed my brake balance, which you'll see in the track guide. But I have not changed the setup. So if you're wondering about that, no setup. This is default, and you can use default. It's quite quick here, the Porsche 911. We head towards the chicane then. Buckstella looking down the inside of Zidor up ahead. And everybody sees everybody there. That's a brilliant move by Buckstella. All behind there. There's been a crash of some kind. I'm pretty sure that was a car resetting itself as we head towards the final corner. But well played to Zidor as well. Seeing the Genesis go down the inside. Not turning in because they saw it coming. And then turned in afterwards. So yeah, really good racing there. Really nice to see. I'm going to head down the start-finish straight then. We're looking on the inside of this Porsche, but we're not in the slipstream, so we are losing out here as we head into the braking zone then. Oh, slight contact between the two then as we go into this right-hander. Once again, we've made a move here on turn number 1. Up into P8 we go then on lap number 2. And we can already see P4 in the distance. Oh, Buckstella slightly oversteering in that iron brew machine there. As we go on the inside. Reminds me of TT Base. Shout out to TT Base, by the way. I've not seen you in a little while. Hope you're well and good. We are through on the Genesis, so as we continue on. And unfortunately, the Genesis is going to go on a journey, if you saw that in the rearview mirror. We'll have a look at that in the bloopers at the end of the video, of course. Up ahead then, Never Quit 69 on the inside of Mr. Pine as they continue on through here. Mr. Pine straightens up and forces Never Quit 69 off. A shaking head from me because I hate this revenge punting nonsense. I really do. It's the smallest of contacts. There's no need for a revenge punt there. If you feel like it wasn't a revenge punt and you were just straighten up the car, then fine. But it very much looked like you straightened up there from my perspective. Anyway, so we're going to go around the outside of Mr. Pine, who does give me some room, to be fair. Does give me some room, at least, as we go through the right-hander here. Max Power's tried to follow me through there. Can Max Power do it? Well, I'm going to be kind to Max Power. I'm going to give you some slipstream because I'm that kind. These two are going to go side by side, though, as we look in on that rear view mirror then and head towards the chicane. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers between these two then as we go into the corner? It is Mr. Pine that keeps that position. Really good racing between the two of them. Max Power looking for the cut back on the exit. That's a brilliant move by Max Power and done and dusted as well. Wow. What a move there by Max Power. What we'll do is advance a bit further on where we catch up to TCR Hero. You'd never know that Bold Ben is a part of TCR, but there you go. You know it now because their nickname is TCR Hero. We are going to look down the inside of them, though, as we head towards the right-hander here. Hard on the brakes we go. Looking on that inside. Can we get it done? Oh, very close racing indeed. We leave that corner still side by side then. Max Power licking his lips like, where can I go now? Well, let's see what happens here. As we go into the S then, Max Power down the inside. What a move that is. What a move. You see me on, it's a brilliant move. It's a fantastic move. It was nailed to perfection, and I love seeing stuff like that. Really well played. I don't care it was on me and I've lost a position. That is awesome. Awesome effort. Perfectly executed. Spot on, Max Power. Absolutely spot on. Right, so we start lap number 4 then, and Max Power going down the inside of the bulb bend then as we go in towards turn 1. Gets it done as well. Max Power making moves here. We're trying to follow suit though. Bulb bend on the inside here. And once again, we are side by side as we continue on through them. We go towards the next corner, still side by side. There's a tiny bit of contact. Again, that's nothing major. That's not intentional in the slightest. It's just racing as we continue on through here. And Bolt Ben keeps that position for now. I love the Monte Carlo sticker on the back, by the way. That is really nice. Okay, what can we do here then? Fast forward a little bit then, as it's line astern through there, as we continue through the hairpin, then up towards the Schumacher S. In we go. You do need a slight lift for this one, especially if you're following somebody. Bolben doesn't lift there, but we continue on through. I'll take avoiding action, and Bolben gave me space there. Beautiful awareness to give me space, as I had to make a split-second decision, and I went left, and, well, just well played to Bolben there. Final lap, nothing much happened there, apart from Sonic wanting to spin it at the line. We nearly got the fastest lap, but not quite there. I've given it a 4 out of 5, so maybe that's the reason why we're using it so often. I'm pretty sure, I would say this is a pretty good race. Start type good, car and tyre choice is good, we're on mediums. Good racing strategy in terms of you've got to race here. You know, you can have some good racing. We've seen that in that race. No penalty issues, and the race length's actually nearly 10 minutes, so it's actually pretty nice. Brake balance down in the right-hand side. You may notice the bop is slightly different to now. It's a previous bop, of course, but it's 5 kilograms lighter, so happy days to you. I think it is anyway. In towards turn 1, we got the tree on the right-hand side, or alternatively, and what I'm using, the last bit of the tarmac on the left. That is my brake marker as I come into here. Now, I dropped to first gear here. I want to clip the inside curb there and accelerate out as quick as I can. Over towards the right-hand side we go, and then into the left here. We lift off, dab the brake a little bit, and what we're looking for is either the tower or the orange painted barrier. As that approaches the center of your screen, that's when you start to accelerate. You can see I'm already on 50% throttle down in that bottom-ish center of the screen. Here's chase cam, so you can see them very clearly on chase cam, and we continue on out. You can use a lot of the exit there. Just make sure you stay on the red and white curbing. And as we approach this next turn, you've got the lamppost on the left-hand side. That is what I use there. So as that disappears off the edge of my screen is when I brake. Alternatively, you can try and judge it on the end of the dark green stuff, but I find it more difficult than ever to use that. So lamppost on the left is the best one to use, in my opinion. We drop to first gear. We get on the inside here. We short shift to second gear, and then we're going to chuck it right. Lift slightly as you go over the curb, and then 100% throttle on exit, and boot it towards the end of the sector here then. We can breathe a little bit and then start thinking about the next corner. So we're looking for the short circuit veering off there. And literally, as the white lines meet there, that is your brake marker. I'm about to go on the brakes now, and I'll chuck it in. Sometimes I drop to second gear here. Sometimes I'll stay in third gear. It really depends how I feel in the Porsche. Obviously, it depends on what car you use as well. So as we go into here, I've stayed in third gear on this lap. I know the one I've got on the leaderboard, I dropped to second gear. You do drop to second gear for this corner, though, and it's the end of the red and white curbing on the left-hand side. Literally, I've highlighted there, so you can see I've just gone on the brakes right now. I'm over towards the left-hand side to give myself a nice line for this right-hander. You do want a better exit here for this corner because you've got a bit of a run then down to the hairpin. Just be careful on exit. Very easy to understeer into the gravel. And let's continue on down now to that hairpin that I was just talking about. What we're looking for here, we've got two markers you could potentially use. You got on the left-hand side, that concrete drainage, whatever it is, on the left-hand side. I use the shed on the right. Okay, there's a nice drinks machine in there, and you can, well, it's actually a cafe sort of pub area. I've been down there before for the Nurburgring 24 hours, but that building there, as it leaves the screen, hit the brakes. Now, I've gone to first gear here. Normally, I'll stay in second, and here are your accelerating markers. You always say, Tidge, give us accelerating markers. There's two there. You got the concrete. You could use that. Alternatively, you can use the start of the exit curve there. Both are really good markers because you can't actually see the exit just yet, and you can see I've just gone on the throttle. Sometimes you want to V that hairpin. Sometimes you better stay in tight. I prefer the tight line there than the V. The V gets kind of awkward sometimes. Through the Schumacher S we go. A tiny lift. That's all you need. The tiniest of lifts. Okay. We're going to head towards the left and right that we've got up here then. So, you've got two markers here. You can use the Marshall or the orange painted barrier on the left-hand side if you want to. Or you can try and judge your distance to the 100 board or the start of the light green stuff. I have started using the Marshall on the left-hand side. I originally used the 100 and the green because it was just a nice marker and visible to you. Clip the inside of the curb, accelerate really quickly out of there. Just be careful of power oversteer. And as we head in towards this right, you got the Marshall on the left that you can use if you want to. As that leaves the screen, you can hit the brakes. Alternatively, as the tarmac ends on the right-hand side, you can use that as a brake marker. The critical part of this is you want to be turning right as you do this because the weight will shift nicely. I just understeer a little bit there. You did see that, but it comes back very nicely. And what we're going to do now is head towards the chicane. We can breathe a little bit here and prepare So we've got a couple of markers we can use at the chicane as we venture to it now. First off, my normal brake marker, the 100 board, or as the drainage or concrete on the right side widens. You can see it widens there, bang on the 100 board. So if that ever disappears, you got a marker. Alternatively, you got the Zurich board on the left-hand side. So as it hits the left-hand side of your screen, you could hit the brakes, and that is also a good marker. Be careful about cutting the first part of the chicane because that is where multi-track limits will happen. The right part of it is a bit more lenient, so just keep that in mind. The left part, you're more likely going to get a track limit penalty. For the final corner, the orange painted barrier on the left-hand side is your final brake marker for this circuit. As that hits the edge of your screen, hit the brakes. You should already be turning into the corner in this situation. It will just transition the weight nicely for you. And you can see on chase cam, you might want to use the portal loop that's there as well. So as we go through this corner, we're on the throttle very early. And we're going to leave that corner and head towards the line where I believe this is a 54.2 that I did there. Yeah, so 53 is definitely possible without a setup. Just to put that into perspective, you can do it without a setup and get in the 53s. Just putting it out there. Okay, we're on Daily Race C then, where we're in Group 1. And I'm in another Porsche, the Porsche 919 car. Obviously, it's got a hybrid. We're doing 15 laps here at Interlagos. Rolling start, racing medium tyres. You do have to pit those. So you got times 3 fuel, times 5 tyre wear, and the BOP is on. So hybrid is the name of the game here. The Porsche does generate hybrid as you race, so you don't just need break-ins, which is why it's probably the best car to use here. Track has been used 12 times. This is a well overused circuit. It's Interlagos. It's been used once before-ish in terms of Group 1. It's more LMP1 than Group 1, but it was used, and it was the Porsche 919 last time as well. Let's jump into this race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens, and we'll give it a score and have a look at the bloopers as well. Right, here we go then. The final race. Obviously, this could be in reference to WEC because that's at Interlagos this week as we kick off the race. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you don't kick off, but you give it a thumbs up instead. And subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. As we go into turn 1, we got smoke up ahead. Then we got a car out wide. Then we go towards the left-hand side. It's towards the right. We got all the car sideways there. As we continue on through, we got some damage on the front end of this car. You see me shaking my head there. But a 4-second penalty. And I hope you love that reaction. That will be a short this week, of course. 4-second penalty. And I have no idea what for, to be honest with you, because how the heck is that my fault? So the Gran Turismo penalty system doing its usual thing. I slightly tapped Shelty there. Apologies to Shelty. Everyone's slowed up once again there as we continue on through here. Hodgson then gets the move done. And we're in P14 with a 4-second penalty. Now, what people may not realise with penalties on this circuit and in these cars is that it absolutely destroys you. It's not as simple as the Group 3 and Group 4 penalties because it uses all of the hybrid. So you hit the brakes and you got to accelerate again. So here we go. Look at this. So it's braking. We're nowhere near where we need to be hybrid-wise. And then we start to accelerate. And look at this. We're going to go down to 0 hybrids. We have to try and build that up again. So we actually lose out more than ever on that. Plus, it's in a dodgy place. Penalties are brutal here. Absolutely brutal. Now, somebody else just got a penalty there in the Audi Vision Gran Turismo car. They're going to the back there because it's even harder to generate in that car, I believe. Anyway, we're going to head towards turn number 1 then. And we've got D'Avla up ahead. And we've got Disco Stew is back. Hello, Disco Stew. Right, through the left we go. And the right. Now, Dirty Air, I'm going to talk about now because it's still a thing. It is still a thing. It's not as bad here, but unless you're very close or really overspeeding the car in front, you are going to be stuck in the line for most of this race, to be honest with you. And you're seeing that right here. We're not really gaining anywhere. I'm trying to take different lines. So I decided to go in the pits because obviously you do have to pit at least once here. I figured my tyre wear isn't that bad, so I'll come in the pits. I'm not going to change tyres, as you can see there. My pit crew just stand around wondering why the heck I've come in. But they know the rules. I have to do that. We'll leave the pits then, P15. I think Bahama's behind has also done that as we go to lap number 4. Start lap number 5, actually. And Max Power and Disco Stew are in the pits now. So they came in a lap later, trying to make sure they stay ahead of me. You can see those two up there then as we go through this left-hander. It's going to be very close here. Disco Stew, we've definitely overtaken. Look at that radar, though. We're going to be side by side with Max Power as we head towards this left-hander then. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers here? And it is just about us. Now, I've been trying to rebuild this hybrid slowly but surely. To do that, you just want to trail brake a little bit more into some of the corners and just maintain that brake just a little bit. Once you make sure you're not run out of power of hybrid at any point in the race, you're fine because then you don't have to do that. Unfortunately, you may have noticed that's track limit penalty, so we get another 1 second. And that is more on me, to be honest, but it's just annoying that you have to cut it that much in order to really get a nice line. Through the left we go here on the final lap. We're up to P7 after skipping everybody, essentially, with that undercut in the pits. And you may notice, see my head shaking, I know what's coming. Yes, it's a 0.5 second penalty. So we're going to take that penalty and we're going to have a run to the line, in fact, because behind me is Shelty. I'm still amazed I'm P7, if I'm brutally honest. I reckon I could have been well up there in this race. But even so, a run to the line here versus Shelty. You see the smile on my face? But Shelty, unlucky mate, I'll get P7. Jocko up ahead gets the infamous P6. And it's an okay race, in my opinion. It's not the greatest in the world. Start time's good. There's a bit of strategy, which gets 0.5. And the race length is a fairly decent race, over 20 minutes, not meters. So 2.5 times by 2 makes it 5. But not the greatest in the world, in my opinion. This race could have been so much better. Here, so we're going to head towards turn 1 here on the Porsche 919. You're looking for the 50 board here for turn number 1. Make sure you do have enough hybrid as well. So if you do start the lap, just hold the brakes at the last corner a little bit as you accelerate, and you should get a bit more hybrid. But the 50 board there is your brake marker, as that leaves a screen if you want to be the last of the late breakers. And I'm going to go down into... I don't drop the second gear on this lap. Sometimes I do, but third gear here. Short shift to fourth gear. Straighten up. Hybrid. Then turn. And then you want to straighten up here. Notice how I'm straightening up there. I'm trying to use the hybrid. The hybrid will only engage if you're going straight. So that's your goal here. Sharp turns and straight. Point and squirt. Your name of the game. So for this left-hander, you're braking at that escape road there, the tarmac. That is your brake marker. Just after that, it could be as well if you can really nail it, but it's very hard to do that. So just use that initially and build up on your braking. As we come into here then, third gear, short shift to fourth gear, avoid some power oversteer, and straighten up. Notice to straighten up there. Then I turn, and then straighten up. Constant, turn straight, turn straight. It's all about using this hybrid. As we head to this, a double right-hander, or the double apex right-hander, should I say. The 50 board on the left-hand side. So you want to drop to fourth gear, and then you're going to short shift to fifth mid-corner. Just keep that in mind. You can see that on chase cam right now on the left-hand side, the 50 board. Nice and easy for you. So fourth gear, and then short shift to fifth, and then try and accelerate through the corner. We're going to use a bit of the curb here, and we're looking for the McDonald's tyre marks. So we're not braking at them, we're braking before them, but you can see where they are here, and I've just started to hit the brakes down. If you do brake at them, you are going to go a bit deep into this corner. It's actually better to brake earlier for this corner so you can cut a little bit more. And guess what? You can then go straight in towards the next corner and use a bit more of your hybrids. That's what we're going to do here, straight. And then we're going to hit the brake straight away. But we gained a little bit there. On the left-hand side, you got the start of the curb. That's your brake marker. And second gear for this corner, you will short shift again before the exit into third gear. And we will do that now. You can see that on chase cam. Nice and easy to spot here. So as we go through here, short shift to third gear. And notice the big dark green on the inside of that curb. That is your accelerating marker. So when that gets close to the edge of your screen, start hitting the accelerator. You will suffer some power oversteer on the exit though, so just be careful. But remember the whole rule of this car, straight and go. Notice that straightened up there? Bit of hybrid juice there. Then the downforce comes into play and it sticks a little bit better. 3 markers you can use here. So on the left-hand side, the far left, that is literally the brake marker you can use. The other 2 are judgments. So you got the dark green stuff or the start the curb on the right. You get close to them, but not on them. And as you come into this corner, you're going to drop to second gear, but then short shift to third. It allows you to accelerate on exit, straighten up, hybrid, hybrid, hybrid. Then we start turning. Can't use the hybrid, short shift to fifth gear, straighten up and use the hybrid again, and then hard on the brakes when that cross gets near the edge of your screen on the right-hand side. The cross in the fence. Cross means the target. That's what you're aiming for. That is your brake marker for this final turn. Again, it's all about getting straight very quickly because then the hybrid deploys and you can absolutely fly out these corners. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. Straighten up and go. Here, straight up, straight, straight, straight. Straight, straight, straight. You're going to come up to a corner here and then it's going to come off there. Notice it comes off. Again, we're trying to get it straight and now we're in 6th gear. It's absolutely fine. Stay close to the inside here. Best run to the line. And this is a 119.0, I think it is. 118 is easily possible and you will see that. It might already be done already while doing this video. Right, let's have a look at Shelty then as we go into this left-hander. So what happened to Shelty? We did see them on the left-hand side of the circuit. Into the right we go. Continuing on. Oh, okay, that's just a misjudgment there from Shelty. Bucksteller was still there and then gets pit maneuvered into the barrier. We jump on board the Aston who's just gone by Shelty here. And as they go into this left there, they try and take avoiding action there. They outbrake themselves a little bit, does Psycho. But to be fair, good attempt at avoidance. Now into the chicane we go. The split-second decision here for Dr. Simmer. And they just get it all wrong. And Hodgson is the car that gets reset there. The IDR8 gets off circuit there, gets a 4-second penalty, and they did say sorry in the race as well, so that's fair play. Mistakes do happen. Let's go on board the Genesis then. So through here they go, and oh, a bit nasty by the Porsche there. I hope they are waiting up. we will see. Oh, hello. Hodgson has just appeared out of nowhere. What happened to Hodgson then? Let's jump on board Hodgson first, then we'll jump on board the Porsche. So through the right we go. Ah, yes, very common thing to happen there. The wheels just spin up on a turbo car due to the bump, and then they go flying. Jump aboard the Porsche after the incident then, and they go on a big old spin themselves as they go off to Narnia. So a little bit of karma there from hitting the Genesis earlier on. I've no idea who will gain the supremacy there in terms of positions. Right, the big incident in this Interlagos race, daily race C. So Bahamas goes into turn 1, slightly taps Metal Lake then. Hodgson slightly taps Bahamas, so everybody just waits up for each other. They continue on through here, and then Danny taps Bahamas. Is that it? I get a 4-second penalty for that. That is atrocious, Gran Turismo. Nobody died. Nobody. I got 4 seconds. That is unbelievable. Unfortunately, folks, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 videos there to check out, as always, of course. And do check out GT Amiga. Use my code Tidgney, or use my Fanatec link in the description, and that will give a kick back to the channel. A big thank you for watching, as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.